You know that feeling?
Yeah.
Utterly exhausted, but your brain just won't switch off.
Oh, yeah. It's incredibly frustrating. Almost universal, I'd say.
And the data really backs that up. I mean, something like a third, maybe even 40% of American adults just aren't getting enough sleep consistently. And even when we do clock the hours, a recent report said only about 47% of us actually wake up feeling rested on a workday.
Less than half. Wow.
Right, less than half.
It really does shine a light on just how crucial sleep is for, well, everything.
Yeah.
Our general well-being.
Absolutely. And you see so many people searching for ways, reliable ways, to sleep better.
Yeah, and when you don't get enough, it affects your mood, your focus, even your physical health down the line. Big ripple effect.
Exactly. So that's what we're diving into today. We've looked at a whole range of sources, things exploring the science, why sleep meditation works, some really practical tips for bedtime routines.
Like mindfulness stuff?
Yeah, mindfulness, how to actually use guided meditation scripts effectively.
Yeah.
And we even found loads of different script examples.
Okay.
We pulled info from places like Mindfulness Exercises, mindful.org, Crystal Reiki Wellness, Inner Health Studio.
Oh.
Quite a mix.
Good range. So the goal here is to really understand how these techniques, especially using guided scripts, can make a real difference.
Right. For both how long you sleep and how well you sleep.
Yeah, we want to get past just saying it helps and look at, the mechanics behind it.
Give people listening some clear, actionable things they can actually try.
Exactly. More restful nights ahead, hopefully.
Okay, so let's get into it. How does meditation actually help us fall asleep? Like, what's happening biologically?
Well, one of the main ways is through something called the relaxation response.
The relaxation response.
Yeah, it's a term Dr. Herbert Benson came up with back in the 70s. It's basically your body's built-in antidote to stress.
The opposite of fight or flight.
Exactly. So when you practice mindfulness or meditation, you trigger this response, and that leads to some really good physiological changes.
Like what specifically?
Well, think about it. Your heart rate starts to slow down naturally. Your blood flow actually improves. Levels of stress hormones like cortisol begin to drop. And even your breathing gets slower and deeper.
Okay, so it's a whole body calming effect.
Precisely. It creates this state of calm that really sets the stage for your body and mind to ease into sleep.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like consciously hitting the off switch for that stress response that keeps us wired.
You got it.
Are there other biological things going on too?
Absolutely. Research shows meditation can influence your body's melatonin production.
Melatonin, the sleep hormone everyone talks about.
That's the one. It's key for regulating our sleep-wake cycle, our circadian rhythm.
Right, that internal clock.
Yeah. And interestingly, studies also link meditation to higher levels of serotonin, which is a precursor to melatonin. So it's working through these hormonal pathways to help kind of nudge your natural sleep patterns back into balance.
Wow, fascinating. So it's not just feeling less stressed, it's actually interacting with the hormones governing sleep.
Exactly.
Now, what about that other classic problem, the racing mind? The thoughts that just won't stop.
Ugh, the ruminating mind. Yeah, that keeps so many people awake.
Tell me about it.
And this is another area where meditation can be, well, really effective. It gives you an anchor for your attention.
Like focusing on your breath.
Your breath, or maybe a sensation in your body, yeah. It helps gently redirect those thoughts that are just spinning around.
So instead of getting stuck problem solving at 2 a.m.
Right, or replaying conversations, you learn to just notice the thoughts, see them come and go without having to grab onto them.
Like watching clouds drift by.
Kind of, yeah. It helps you cultivate a bit of detachment, so you can sort of surrender to sleep instead of fighting your own mind. Mindfulness gives you that little bit of distance.
Okay, so the worries feel less urgent.
Less immediate, less overwhelming. Exactly. When you're trying to rest.
That sounds incredibly helpful, like giving your brain something focused but gentle to do instead of that endless mental checklist. You also mentioned some indirect ways a regular practice helps sleep.
Yeah, that's right. When you practice mindfulness consistently, the benefits tend to spill over into other parts of your life.
How so?
You just become more aware, generally, more aware of your overall well-being.
Okay.
And this awareness can lead you to make more conscious choices that happen to support better sleep.
Like what kind of choices?
Well, for example, maybe you notice that having a sugary snack late at night really messes with your sleep.
The sugar crash. Or maybe just being wired.
Exactly. So because you're more aware, you might start choosing something different. By being more tuned into your body during the day, you naturally start doing things that help stabilize blood sugar, for instance.
And that leads to better sleep.
Ultimately, yeah, it contributes to a more restful night.
So it's really holistic then. Meditation directly calms you down, helps with the sleep hormones, quiets the mental noise,
Right.
and even subtly guides you towards healthier daily habits that support sleep.
It all connects.
Okay, so we understand how it helps. But what about other quick mindful tips? Things we can weave into our bedtime routine even without a formal meditation.
Yeah, definitely. Beyond a dedicated meditation session, there are simple things you can do. Since stress and anxiety are such big sleep thieves, a lot of these focus on easing that.
Makes sense.
One easy one is just some gentle stretching before bed.
Okay.
It helps you get out of your head and into your body,
Yeah.
release some of that physical tension you might be holding on to from the day.
Well, I can see that. Physically signaling time to wind down. What else?
Another really practical one is writing a to-do list, but do it at the end of your workday or maybe early evening.
Oh, interesting. Why then?
Well, if thoughts about work or tasks tend to pop up when you're trying to sleep.
Which they definitely do.
Right. Putting them down on paper can be like symbolically finishing the day, telling your brain, okay, this is handled, you can switch off now.
It's like offloading the mental burden so it doesn't keep churning.
Exactly. You're parking those worries.
That's smart. Really practical.
And then there's being mindful of your environment, dimming the lights in the evening, maybe using candlelight if that feels calming to you. This really helps your circadian rhythm, that internal clock.
Because bright light messes with melatonin.
Precisely. Especially the blue light from screens. So creating a darker, calmer atmosphere encourages that natural slowing down process.
Our bodies are definitely tuned in to light cues. Okay, and the last tip, I have a feeling I know what it involves. Devices.
You guessed it. Powering down the electronics. Phone, tablet, TV. Ideally, give yourself at least 30, maybe 60 minutes before bed without them.
Because of the blue light again.
That, and also they're just stimulating. News feeds, emails, games. They keep your mind buzzing when you want it to be settling.
Right, so swap screen time for
Something quieter, reading a real book, maybe a relaxed chat, journaling, or those gentle stretches we mentioned. Anything calming.
Good, solid advice. Okay, now let's get to the main event, using these meditation scripts for sleep. How do we actually do that? You mentioned a few ways.
Yeah, the sources point to about 4 key ways you can use sleep meditation scripts.
Okay.
First one is recording the script yourself in your own voice for you to listen to.
Oh, interesting. Why your own voice?
There's often something really soothing and, trustworthy about your own voice guiding you. It feels safe, familiar. Maybe practice reading it a couple of times first to get a nice calm pace.
Huh. Like being guided by someone you inherently trust yourself.
Huh.
Okay, what's the second way?
Second way is more for people who teach mindfulness or meditation.
Right.
They can record scripts to share with their students or clients. These recordings become helpful resources people can use anytime.
Great way for teachers to offer support outside of class.
Yeah.
And the third way, you said this one sounded nurturing.
It really does. It's reading a script aloud to someone else, like a loved one, maybe especially kids who have trouble settling down.
Oh, yeah.
Guiding them through some simple breathing or a calming image. It can create a really lovely, secure bedtime ritual.
I can just picture that.
Yeah.
So peaceful. Okay, and the last way to use them.
For shorter practices, like maybe a body scan, you could read the script a few times just to get familiar with it.
Learn the steps.
Yeah, learn the sequence, the main points. Then when you're actually in bed, you practice it from memory without the script.
So it becomes more internal.
Exactly. More intuitive, guided by your own understanding.
So lots of flexibility there. Recording, sharing, guiding others, learning it yourself. Very versatile.
Definitely.
Okay, now let's dig into the types of scripts. What different approaches do they take to help us chill out and drift off?
Yeah, there's a really impressive range out there tailored to different needs, different preferences.
Yeah.
A really common one is visualization, using calming imagery to quiet the mind.
Like picturing a beach.
Exactly. A script might guide you to imagine being by the ocean, hearing the waves, feeling the breeze, engaging your senses to create that peaceful feeling.
A little mental vacation before sleep. I like it. What else?
Some scripts focus on acceptance. Accepting your thoughts, just observing them without needing to jump in and fix everything.
Oh, that sounds useful for the overthinkers.
Totally. There's one called Awareness of Your Problem Without Fixing It. It encourages you to just acknowledge stuff that comes up without judging it. Very freeing when your mind's stuck in problem-solving mode.
Yeah, stops that endless loop. Okay, what other types?
Then you have the bedtime mindfulness approach. Often this is basically a guide for a simple body scan you do right there in bed.
Grounding yourself in physical sensation.
Exactly. Bringing awareness to your body moment by moment.
We'll talk more about body scans soon, but that sounds like a good way to connect physically before sleep. What if anxiety is the main issue?
Yep. There are scripts specifically for that, like breathe away anxious thoughts. These guide you through techniques to release those worried thoughts, cultivate a more positive, peaceful mindset as you're winding down.
And what about physical discomfort?
Yeah.
Chronic pain is a huge sleep disruptor for some people.
Absolutely. And yes, there are scripts designed for that too. Something like deep state of relaxation for chronic pain.
How does that work?
The aim is to guide the listener into a really deep relaxation, which can sometimes lessen the perception of pain and just make it easier to rest.
That's so important, having tools for specific challenges like pain. What about focusing on positive emotions?
That's where gratitude scripts come in, like gratitude for breath, body, and mind.
Focusing on the good stuff.
Yeah, consciously tuning into simple blessings, positive things in your day. Feeling thankful can be surprisingly powerful for calming mental chatter and bringing on feelings of peace.
Shifts your focus, quiets the worries. Nice. Any other visualization types?
Yes, another kind uses peaceful mental imagery. There's one like laying down meditation and visualizing a lake.
A lake.
Yeah, the idea is like, even if the surface of your mind feels rough and choppy.
Like a windy day on the lake.
Exactly. Deep down, there's stillness, inner peace. These scripts help you connect with that calm beneath the surface turmoil.
It's a beautiful metaphor. Very calming. What about those really stubborn racing thoughts?
For those, there are mental relaxation for sleep scripts. They help you develop a new relationship with those thoughts.
How so?
Instead of seeing them as like urgent threats you have to solve right now, they guide you to observe them from a bit more distance, a broader perspective, which helps induce deeper relaxation.
Changing your relationship with the thoughts themselves.
Yeah.
Clever. Anything just simple and comforting.
Definitely. Scripts like this simple sleep meditation, these focus on self-nurturing, self-care, almost like tucking yourself in with kindness.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Especially if you're feeling stressed.
Very gentle, very reassuring.
And finally, you mentioned breath-focused ones, even if not specifically for sleep.
Yeah, even something like a soft belly meditation, which focuses on deep belly breathing.
Diaphragmatic breathing.
Right. That's super effective at kicking in the relaxation response. So even if the script isn't labeled sleep meditation, that kind of breath work is really beneficial before bed.
So it seems like there's a script for pretty much everyone in every situation.
Huge variety, yeah.
Okay, you mentioned we'd look closer at the body scan. What makes that one so effective for sleep?
The body scan is, well, it's a core mindfulness practice, and it's shown real results for sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of our sources mentioned a UCLA study. It found body scans improved sleep quality in older adults who are having sleep problems.
Wow, actual study data. That's compelling. So what's the basic idea behind it?
The core principle is systematically moving your attention through different parts of your body.
Okay.
As you focus on each area, you just notice whatever sensations are there. Tingling, warmth, heaviness, maybe nothing much.
Just noticing.
Just noticing. The key is without judging it, without trying to change it. Just being curious about what you feel right now. This helps release tension you might not even realize you're holding. And it pulls your focus away from those endless thoughts.
Anchors you in the physical.
Yeah.
So walk us through it quickly. How would someone do it in bed?
Sure. So you're lying comfortably. Usually it starts at the top of your head. Just notice sensations there.
Okay.
Then maybe move awareness to where your skull touches the pillow. Notice the pressure, the contact. The script might invite you to let go of tension, but just noticing is fine too.
No pressure to make anything happen.
Exactly. Then you scan down, face, forehead, eyes, nose, cheeks, mouth, throat. Then shoulders, notice any tightness. Then down one arm, upper arm, elbow, forearm, hand, fingers. Notice sensations all the way down. Then the other arm.
Systematically.
Very systematically. Then your back, chest, stomach, pelvis. Then down one leg, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot, toes. Then the other leg. You're just patiently bringing awareness to each part.
Sounds very thorough, very grounding. And you mentioned you don't have to start at the head.
That's right. It's flexible. You can start at your feet and work up whatever feels right.
Okay.
And you can do it once or repeat it if you like. Maybe spend more time on areas that feel tense. You can really tailor it.
Good to know it's adaptable. Now, across all these different scripts, breathing seems to come up again and again. Why is focusing on breath so central?
Yeah, conscious breathing is definitely a cornerstone. It's in so many relaxation practices for a reason.
Why is that?
Deep, slow breathing directly affects your nervous system. It helps switch on the parasympathetic response, the rest and digest mode.
The opposite of the stress response.
Exactly. It counteracts stress, helps release tension, both physical and mental. Plus, your breath is always there.
Wow.
It's a constant, portable anchor for your attention. When your mind starts racing, focusing on the physical sensation of breathing in and out gives it something simple and non-judgmental to rest on.
Like a basic tool to signal safety and calm to your body. Okay, so one of the biggest challenges we keep mentioning is that busy mind. How do scripts tackle that head on?
Some scripts address it very directly, like that quickly and easily fall asleep script from Inner Health Studio.
What does it suggest?
It has this really practical idea. Give yourself a specific time limit for thinking before sleep.
Okay.
And it even suggests keeping a notepad by your bed. If worries pop up, jot them down quickly.
The parking lot idea again.
Exactly. Acknowledge the thought, write it down, and then mentally let it go, knowing you can look at it tomorrow.
That's clever. Contains the thoughts instead of letting them spiral. What else?
Another common technique is using simple, repetitive focusing tasks, like counting.
Counting sheep, basically, but mindfully.
Sort of, yeah. The Inner Health script suggests slowly counting, maybe 1 to 10, maybe back down, just using the numbers as a soft focus point.
To keep the mind gently occupied.
Right. Prevents it from wandering off into those more active, worrying thoughts. It's surprisingly effective at helping you drift off.
Gives the mind a simple job instead of letting it run wild with anxieties.
Makes sense. And we touched on this, but the idea of using your own voice, Inner Health Studio highlighted that.
Yes, they really emphasize that recording yourself reading a script and listening back can be particularly potent.
Why is that, do they think?
The idea is we often respond really well to suggestions we kind of give ourselves. Your own voice has that built-in familiarity and trust. It can deepen the relaxation and make the suggestions feel more personal, more resonant.
That's a really interesting insight, worth trying. Now, some scripts also weave in gratitude and positive affirmations.
Yeah.
How does that help set the stage for sleep?
Yeah, scripts like the bedtime meditation from Crystal Reiki Wellness do this beautifully. They guide you to reflect on good moments from the day. Gratitude.
Focusing on the positive.
Right, and maybe reframe challenges as learning opportunities. This shifts your focus towards positivity, contentment. Then they add affirmations.
Like saying positive things to yourself. Exactly. Statements reinforcing that you're safe, loved, worthy, deserving. This can really counteract negative self-talk and build a sense of peace and security as you're falling asleep.
So it's about consciously creating a positive inner environment.
Yes, nurturing that positive inner landscape as you transition to sleep.
This has been so helpful, really illuminating. So if we were to wrap this all up, what are the main takeaways from this deep dive?
I think the core message is that sleep meditation and relaxation scripts offer this really diverse toolbox. They're effective, natural ways to improve your sleep. And they work through multiple channels, kicking in that relaxation response, helping you manage racing thoughts, increasing body awareness to release tension, and fostering those positive states of mind like gratitude.
And it sounds like the real power is in finding what works for you.
Absolutely. The key is experimentation. Try different types: visualization, body scan, breath focus, gratitude. Try different methods: recording yourself, reading, practicing from memory.
Find your personal sleep recipe.
Exactly. Discover what feels most calming, most comforting, and ultimately what helps you get that restful sleep you need.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Just consider what dedicating even a few minutes each night to these practices could do.
Yeah.
How it might shift your whole relationship with sleep and just your overall well-being.
A small investment for potentially big returns.
Maybe even think about creating your own personalized routine, mixing and matching these techniques we've talked about.
Great idea.
Sweet dreams, everyone.